Championship day in the Classic City, Athens, Georgia, as two powerhouses of SEC tennis clash to see who will reign supreme as national champions. The final featuring the top-ranked Auburn Tigers seeking their first ever national championship title versus the 2024 champions Texas A&M. Well, Auburn picked up their 11th straight win, moving past fourth-ranked Ohio State, got through in dramatic fashion. Even though the final score was one-sided, they continued to thrive. Meanwhile, Texas A&M had to work late for the second straight night to get through an exhausting comeback against defending champions Georgia. As everything has moved through, the top four ranked teams reached the Final Four. Very impressive efforts, but it gets down to two teams that are very familiar with each other. As we say hello and welcome, tennis fan. Kevin Skinner alongside three-time national champion, two team titles, one at Texas, one at Florida, Jill Krabus. And Jill, we know these two teams, they're very familiar with each other. Not just the teams, but their coaches know each other exceptionally well.
Yeah, this is what's so interesting. Jordan Szabo used to be the assistant coach for Mark Weaver at Texas A&M. He was at Texas A&M for a very, very long time, but now got this opportunity at Auburn, and he's really done a great job of turning the program around. They're #1 in the nation. They're playing incredibly well. Just got their first SEC tournament, so now they're going for their first NCAA tournament ever. Yeah,
a lot at stake, but there is some personal feelings between the two schools and the two coaches. We'll see how things share today as they go up against each other, but it is two very talented squads, each for Auburn and for Texas A&M. Let's tell you a little bit about both of them. First of all, in the case of, well, the teams that we look at for Texas A&M, they have two very talented players amongst them. 2 nights ago, Violeta Martinez had to work till 12:25 a.m. to produce a victory. Last night, Luciana Perez, despite cramping, was able to get her win.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable effort from both of these women. And last night as well, Martinez was down 6-1, 4-1, and was able to turn it around. It's going to be interesting to see physically how they recover and come back tonight.
And for the Aggies, they'll go up against the top-ranked Tigers of Auburn, and it has been a dramatic turnaround. Look at what Jordan Szabo has done in 2 seasons.
He's been absolutely incredible, especially this year, the best record out of all the years. That, like I said, first SEC tournament that they got under their belt for Auburn University, but they've been so dominant this year, and it's all about how Jordan has been so positive for his team. He just exudes positivity and teamwork.
Let's tell you what is going to transpire here today. It'll begin with doubles. And Jill, there'll be 3 matches taking place all at the same time, 1 set on each court.
Yep, just a set up to 6, and there's 3 doubles matches, and whoever wins 2 out of those 3 will have 1 point for the team leading into the singles.
Then singles will have all 6 matches, best of 3 sets. That will follow the doubles, which is getting started with on court #1, the #2 ranked team in the nation of Ben and Esposito for Auburn, taking on 11th ranked Texas A&M. Court #2 has the fantastic duo of Okatoy and Rafat for the Tigers. And don't overlook court #3. It could all come down to that court with 2 very talented teams. This is how things will shake up. We are already underway on a couple of the courts. It's time to get right to the action for the national championship in women's tennis. First destination will be the #1 court. 2 exceptionally talented and high-ranked teams as they get things going. And for Texas A&M, that's Mia Kupras, the senior, who is partnered with Luciana Perez. They are ranked 11th in the country, the Aggies, going up against the #2 team in the nation. Serving, Ava Esposito for Auburn. Strong start for Auburn, and Ava Esposito, the left-hander, is a junior from Branford, Connecticut, looking to stamp her name upon this opening game. And Esposito does her part, and we're underway. The first doubles game in Athens on the board. Opening games recorded on all 3 courts as we get underway for the national championship, Auburn, Texas A&M. Court number 2, our next destination. We're going to peek in on the number 8 duo in the country from Auburn. That is Angela Okatoy and Myrna Rafat. It is Okatoy serving at the top of your screen. Angela, in her senior year, hails from Nairobi, Kenya, and has been a terrific part of this program for the last 4 years, hoping to cap it off with a title run. Okatoy and Rafat have been terrific this season. They spent almost the entirety of the year in the number 2 spot. You see their record, pretty sterling overall. That includes 3 wins. Their hand in that in the 5 rounds, or excuse me, the 4 rounds that they've 4 wins that they picked up in 5 rounds have been very impressive. Okatoy putting the ball in play, serving to Elinka Amarie, Texas A&M. Nice hands from Myrna Rafat.
Yeah, great reaction, just ready for the ball. And Rafat and Okatoy bring so much energy to the court. I think they just have a great demeanor about them. Okatoy especially brings so much passion to the sport. And I think they just look like they always are having so much fun together.
Amarie and Martinez just about 50% for the year as a duo, and did produce just 1 win in the 5 rounds thus far. Dropped a couple of matches, but certainly good anchor in the number 2 position. Violeta Martinez, the 5'1" senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, transferred over from Illinois for her senior year.
Well, Amarie at the net let that go, thinking it was going to sail long, and Martinez did a good job of getting over there, but just had a late start. Couldn't control the last ball. Great return from Rafat.
That's Myrna Rafat, a sophomore from Giza, Egypt, who has certainly had her hand in a lot of wins this year and been very proficient. As mentioned, this Auburn doubles team has been stellar this season.
Great close from Amarie. Okatoy trying to use power to get that ball past the net player, but Amarie did a great job just keeping that racket in front of her. Great reflex volley.
Elinka Amarie, the freshman from Iași, Romania. Very enthusiastic freshman. Boy, was she in the midst of the fight yesterday against Georgia.
Big return from Rafat. Took that ball on the rise very early, but great length.
It'll be interesting to see who the crowd supports today. Obviously, this is the University of Georgia and the Georgia Bulldogs, the defending champions from a year ago, falling to Texas A&M. We'll see if their support goes behind the team that beat them, or would they be pulling for the Auburn Tigers today? Chance for Okatoy and Rafat. Changes to 30 all. Doubles point in many respects very important for Auburn. Not as much so for A&M in an interesting path. For Texas A&M, they've actually lost the doubles point in the last 4 matches in this NCAA tournament, yet still found a way to win 4 matches in singles.
Oh, she's returning well right now, Rafat. Yeah, Mark Weaver, the coach of A&M, has mentioned numerous times what a fighting team they have. They play with a lot of heart. So even though they've been behind, they've been able to really battle through a lot of their matches.
Not that they don't want the doubles point,
of course, yeah.
But they have learned that they have been able to fight and dig deep of late when they have seen the doubles point elude them. Break chance for Okotoye and Rafat to get the early lead. And that'll be denied. A good effort from Amarie on the. That saves a break point. Another remaining. Remember, deciding points in NCAA tennis. And this will decide who takes the third game.
Yeah, in both the singles and doubles. And there's Coach Mark Weaver. The deciding point will be receiver's choice. And so it will be the team of Auburn, and it will be Rafat taking the return.
That one got away, and Martinez is broken. Auburn out in front early on court 2, 2-1. When you're playing for a national championship, you like to push your opponents around. Sometimes they just run out of room. Violet Martinez just did run out of space, and she couldn't believe, oh, okay. Nothing can be accomplished with your back against the wall, except come back out and start swinging. Let's see if Martinez can show some of the fight she showed, particularly 2 nights ago. She was the hero for Texas A&M in the quarterfinals. She battled until well past the midnight hour. Give Texas A&M the point they needed to secure a spot in the semifinals. She was also very instrumental in singles in the victory yesterday. We'll talk more about that during the singles discipline. It's Myrna Rafat serving for Auburn. There's Jordan Zabo in his second season at Auburn, a long-time assistant coach at Texas A&M. Said he learned a lot and owes a lot to Mark Weaver and the Aggies, but he wanted to be at the helm of his own school, and he got the call from Auburn, and he has made the most of the opportunity.
I just got a little bit anxious there, Amarie. Great pressure from Rafat. Just got a little extra power behind the last shot.
Martinez overcooks the return, and Rafat with a golden opportunity to try to consolidate the break.
Yeah, she's done well here after being down. Love 30 has done well with good placement and accuracy on her serve. Don't really feel like Martinez, she went for such a huge shot, and her court position was so good. She didn't really need to try and power through that last return.
Quality hands as Rafat's able to get the hold for 3-1. Now right next door is court number 3. Our first chance to peek in on what's happening there. A remarkable pairing for Auburn and Ashton Bowers and Ekaterina Rudinova taking on the duo of Reed and Smetanikov of Texas A&M, and it's the Aggies who have jumped out to the emphatic start. Texas A&M at the top of the screen. This is a good signal for both Mark Weaver and the rest of Texas A&M that this duo, who struggled in doubles of late, have gotten off to such a strong start. That's Lexington Reed, the sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Katerina Arudinova, the senior who transferred from Florida International University, serving at 15:30.
Well, they've just been a little bit more consistent overall, the A&M team. I love that move from Smetanikoff, just taking the risk and trying to control the net. She's got great hands, likes to come in a lot in singles as well. Isn't afraid to transition forward.
Arudinova and Ashton Bowers have combined the last for this season for tremendous numbers as a duo this year. 30-3 together, including 26-3 in the number 3 spot. And for Ashton Bowers, with her 33 wins, that sets a school record for the most wins in a single season in doubles in Auburn history.
Well, even more surprising with the scoreline that they haven't gotten off to the strongest start because of how well they've done this year.
Arudinova, they're facing break point. And called out by Lexington Reed. And Texas A&M marches out to a 4-0 start.
It was the right move from Bowers. Just went for a little bit too much. I think just missed the back of the line, but it was still the right move, and she hit it well. But that's been the story of the set so far, is A&M just so consistent and Auburn just missing by a couple inches.
Now Lexington Reed will step up in the line, see if she can continue this forward progress for the Aggies.
That's a great move. They got to take their chances, try and get involved a little bit more at the net, like that from Arudinova. Especially when you have a partner like Bowers who can hit with such pace off the ground. She will give you opportunities to take control of the net.
A&M going to try to just maximize this potential, this brilliant double break lead, because they have not had great success. Reed and Smetanikoff did win their opening match against Quinnipiac in the opening round. Pretty straightforward, a 6-2 win. But in the time since, they've lost their matches. They lost 6-love to Baylor, fell to Southern Cal 6-4, got tripped up by the Tar Heels of North Carolina 6-2, and then went unfinished against Georgia. But all in all, despite the positive season, they've been struggling of late. And now they're all over Bowers, Arudinova, having all 4 games thus far.
Well, I think watching Reed in particular play her singles yesterday, I thought she served very well, and I think it's translated into today. I think she's hitting her spots absolutely perfectly on the serve.
Smetanikoff able to clean things up, and it'll be a game point and a chance for 5-love against a supreme pairing of Bowers and Arudinova, again with not only their 30 wins together this season, but 4 victories in the NCAA tournament, and they're in danger of being blanked here.
Just a little bit too much time, I think, in between first and second serve made Reed think about that second serve. Avery, just the hesitation you could feel on that forehand side. She just wasn't going after it with the same type of conviction. It's a big point here. 5-love lead is definitely a lot different than 4-1, and for Auburn to get a little momentum.
So Lexington Reed from a 40-15 lead now, trying just to muster and salvage a hold here. Back to receive is Rudinova. Smetanikoff sneaks over and secures the hold. 5-love for the Aggies. Dominant starts on 2 courts by different teams. Auburn out in front on court number 2, a game away. As Texas A&M has built up a steady head of steam with their 5-love beginning. Of course, you have to win 2 courts. It's just 1 set played on all 3 courts, and whichever school, mind you, wins 2 of those courts, that is a single doubles point, and so crucial in many respects towards helping out the single side of things. It's Violetta Martinez of A&M serving on court number 2, 1-5. There's Martin Rafat with the finish. Meanwhile, serving for Auburn on court number 3, Ashton Bowers, the sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia. Serving for some pride here, trying to get on the board for the shocker that is this 5-love lead. Bowers and Rudinova, they were unstoppable against Bryant, 6-1. Beat Miami, 6-1. Punished Duke by, yep, you guessed it, 6-1. Got past LSU, 6-3. We're all locked up 4 apiece against Ohio State before it went unfinished. But that's how dominant they have been, Jill. That's part of the surprise in this score.
Yeah, it has been a big surprise. I think A&M has gone about on number 3 doubles about the match a little bit differently. They're just taking more risk. They're looking to move at the net a lot more, and I think maybe it's caught Auburn by surprise a little bit. They had such good plan goes, and that's why they've been so dominant in that first set.
Rafat nets the volley for 30 all on court number 2, but just 2 points separate Auburn from taking half a point. Bowers just trying to get that first digit on the scoreboard over on court number 3 for the Tigers.
That's a great move right there from Smetanikoff. Just haven't seen a lot of that from the Auburn team that much. It's good to see they're trying to adapt and just taking on the challenge of being a little bit more active.
Amare able to clean up once again, and she's helping the cause for A&M on court 2. By the way, over on court number 1, that might be the court that decides. It almost seems it's a foregone conclusion. Just about to go 3 all. That is the closest contest of the three by a considerable stretch. There's a point on the board for Auburn on court number 3. 5-1 in favor of Texas A&M. On court number 3, on court number 2, Martinez with a chance to secure the hold. And it'll be a deciding point, which is a set point for Auburn on court 2.
Rafat in particular has been on fire, hasn't made one mistake. Her reflexes have been so good. Another example there, just ready for that volley to come back from Amarie.
Mark Weaver over to chat to his pair on court number 2, just to offer some advice.
And a big miss there from Reed, just caught that swing volley way behind her. I know they're in control on number 3, but for A&M, they got to be careful because they have backpedaled a little bit. They got to keep that aggressive stance. That got them in that position.
Amarie nets her volley, and Texas A&M coughs up the opening set. It's all Okatoy, mind you, and Rafat 6-1 on court number 2. That's half the point. Auburn hoping for a chance to pull it out on court number 1, where it is 3-all. Right now, Texas A&M trying to earn their half a point with Smetanikoff at the line.
Well done by Reed to get back for that overhead, and didn't try and overhit it, just placed it really well at the feet of Haruyanova. That's excellent ball striking. Some of the biggest hitting of the set so far. Again, Reed, just the fact that she was ready and waiting for that volley.
Reed and Smetanikoff looking very much in control and hopeful to finally be able to produce something positive for the Aggies in doubles. This would be a big step for them after 3 consecutive losses, and this is the senior Smetanikoff. Excuse me, junior. Daria Smetanikoff in her junior season.
It's great second serve, right in the middle of the box, but a little bit more kick on that.
And very much looking in control, and a very positive outlook from Smetanikoff. You know, she seems to be trusting her judgment in the first time. I should have trusted my judgment. I did say she was a senior. Corrected myself. Let's go back to it. Let's recognize Smetanikoff as a senior from Marlboro, New Jersey, with a chance to seal the deal on court 3. Yes. Multiple chances, if necessary, to grab the half point for Texas A&M.
That's an excellent return, very decisive, and had thought early where she wanted to hit that return and didn't hesitate. Beautiful strike on the ball from Bowers.
Botanikov does her job and somehow, some way comes away with a dominant performance against one of the more dominant doubles teams in women's tennis. Auburn shocked on 3. So that's a half point for each school. And that means it's all going to come down to court number 1. Why not get it sorted out on the number 1 court? And that's exactly what's happening now. Auburn, Texas A&M, 2 top 11 teams. Aggies trying to draw a level with the Tigers. See, the Auburn Tigers have been relying on the doubles point. 37-2 when they win the doubles point, and they've only lost 2 of the doubles points all season long. I mean, it's just been phenomenal. It's been really a stepping stone because it certainly takes the pressure off of singles.
Absolutely.
When you only need 3 instead of 4 wins.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible numbers right there. It does. If you're so much more positive being able to go into the singles knowing you have that point.
Esposito puts the ball into the net. It's Kupres and Perez goes again. It makes it more interesting because of the fact they're 36-2 when they win the doubles point, but they also have, with the times that they've lost, only twice they're 1-1. So it's not a
foregone conclusion. That,
no.
Yeah.
And they can come through with a victory if they need to, winning in all the singles matches that they need, of which they would need 4. But right now, both teams in a solid spot.
I mean, the coach of Auburn, Jordan Zabo, has said numerous times how important he feels like the doubles point is. So even he feels like it makes their team feel a lot better going into the singles competition.
Yeah, again, with this history-making season for Auburn, you know, the doubles point has been a huge stepping stone for the Tigers to be able to get there. Perez trying to find her way to the hold, and she'll have a couple of game points if necessary. And as we mentioned, for Mark Weaver, you have to look at things optimistically. They haven't been able to produce a lot of doubles points in this tournament, yet they keep winning. So they'll, by any means necessary. That is also the motto, win anyway, or win anyway for Jordan Zabo. He says it's dual purpose. You can win anyway despite conditions, circumstances. Even if things are arduous and difficult, you can win anyway, or you win any way you can.
I like that message. I think it's a great philosophy to have as a coach.
Kupres just long on a volley.
That's a huge return right into the body of Kupres. I think because it takes out the distractions. It's so easy to get bothered or frustrated. There's so many things that can cause distractions in your mind, but I think that type of message just kind of takes that away. Just get back to the moment, get back to fighting and competing.
It 4-all on court number 1. Yeah, just to finish that thought as well, you take it to the point where you're going to have to deal with stuff anyway, so you might as well look at it as we're going to have to just get there.
Right.
Instead of being bogged down by the negativities. Tries to stay a positive person, and especially in his messaging to his team. Ava Esposito, the junior from Branford, Connecticut, competed much of last year in the 3 spot. Now she's partnered with senior DJ Bennett, and hoping they can get themselves a little victory here. That is Bennett at the net, playing in their final match after 4 years at Auburn. a good combination and why they're the second-ranked team in the nation. You got a lefty who corkscrews it out wide.
I mean, that was pretty much a first serve as a second serve. That was a big second serve.
Mark Weaver, in his third consecutive national championship, won the title for the first time in school history 2 years ago. Came up short last year against the Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, that's the team he and his squad were able to defeat yesterday right here in Athens, with high hopes of making it 2 titles in a 3-year span.
That was such a low return. It forced Esposito to really have to hit up on the ball, and she hesitated whether to get as aggressive as she wanted to. Just floated it long.
Luciana Perez, the junior from Lima, Peru, the hero in the final singles match last night. Back to receive serve.
That's a great volley. Really stuck it well and right to the feet of Kupras. Perez on that backhand side, just not able to get enough power behind the ball. Really allowed Esposito to stay aggressive.
Exchange between Esposito and Mia Kupras. There's the senior from Edmonton, Alberta. She was very solid yesterday in her performance. On the singles side against Georgia, it was Perez and Kupras who went up against the 19th ranked duo of Lopada and Poxtite. Came up short. Got themselves in the hunt, a chance to break for the lead.
Just a nasty serve. Perez running with all her might just to try and get over to that out wide serve. And facing a lefty, I mean, I would think Kupras would take this return. It just takes that lefty adds swing serve out of the equation.
Yeah, in case you're a novice to the collegiate tennis, it's the receiving team that gets to choose, and Kupras is indeed back. As the senior is going to try to take that left-handed serve and deliver a break. Well, is that touched? Did Perez get a racket on it? I believe she did, and Auburn's going to take the 9th game. Drama-filled finish in doubles in Athens. Texas A&M at the line. Mia Kupras serving to try to get even at 5 apiece. Well, it's a contrast in styles between the two coaches. It's not just the players who get involved. Coach Szabo, he is just as fired up. The Australian, who's a native of Bayswater, Australia, down near Melbourne. He's showing the emotions and how much he covets giving Auburn their first ever national championship.
Yeah, the team has said how the perfect word from him is how much passion he brings, and you can see it. He's constantly so intense and getting all fired up for the players, and they can feel it. It really does help bring a little bit of energy.
Yeah, it is a contrast in style. Szabo, very enthusiastic, always wearing his emotions on his sleeve. It's Mark Weaver, who's just a cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't give a lot away. That doesn't mean he doesn't care. Of course, he's very invested emotionally, but It's part of an ethos that he tries to extend to the Aggies, because he doesn't believe that if you get so fired up and you're so involved that you can lose your focus.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's infectious. I mean, you just can't help but get excited and passionate yourself when you see your coach constantly bringing that energy. Esposito, by the way, is just dominating at the net. It's so tough sometimes to see an opening against someone like Esposito, who's so long, has that big wingspan at the net, and she closes so hard as well. Well, it was a risky shot that Kupras just hit, but had enough power behind it to cause the error from Bennett.
DJ Bennett, the senior from Bellevue, Florida, played doubles most of last year with a different partner. But now she has really put together a nice run with Ava Esposito. 18-4 on the year as a duo. Second-ranked team in the nation as Kupras serves at 30-15 for the Aggies.
Well, Kupras saw Esposito move and just pushed it wide with the whole court open, but also with Perez there, feeling like she wanted to make sure that she didn't get in the way, and just missed it wide.
Oh, well done by Perez. Esposito brought the heat.
She does that consistently, and so I think Perez and Kupras are making sure they're very alert when they're at the net. They know that power stroke is going to come from Esposito consistently.
Esposito, not the cleanest of volleys, but it was enough to get across the net and shake things up. And Auburn, with a deciding point, a chance to grab the doubles point with their second court. Auburn taking a half point on court number 2. Now a chance to wrap it on court number 1. And they have been phenomenal this year when they emerge with the doubles point. Esposito had a sitter and couldn't convert. And Texas A&M still alive, 5-all.
Wow, I think she's trying to recover there. I think she can't believe that she missed that. She's been so solid at the net. Maybe just slapped at it a little bit too much, but I love the fact that she took the risk, because when she has been so great at the net overall. I think she just backpedaled a little bit, maybe didn't realize how high it was and just kept floating above.
So 5-all, that'll send the senior, DJ Bennett, to the line for Auburn.
It's really good communication from A&M. Kupris just controlling from the forehand side, and Bennett almost hesitating when to come forward to the net and just got caught at the service line. Great consistency from Bennett off the ground. And ever since Esposito missed that volley, she hasn't taken the risk of trying to poach since that moment. It's just been holding her position at the net.
Go, DJ.
Well, Perez, literally on top of the net, uses the net to her advantage. I'm not sure she practices that shot, but she'll take it.
I mean, I think everyone held their breath for that one moment, wasn't sure what's going to happen. We're just watching. It was a good effort from Esposito, but you also have to be cautious to make sure you don't hit the net when you're going for the ball.
Looked like a little double tap to get it to go fall over to the Auburn side, but regardless, it goes A&M's way.
Another great spot from Kupris going on the cross court. Just getting it to the feet of Esposito.
It's been nip and tuck throughout on court one. Really no establishment of any real momentum to give either school a push, but this is a chance for the Aggies to put themselves to the lead.
Great serve. And that's the side you want to target on Kupris. Her backhand can be solid, but it's the forehand that she prefers, likes to dictate on. So it was a great serve from Bennett.
Wasn't a lot of room to work with to begin with as Perez tries to sneak that past Esposito. This is wide, and it'll be a deciding point in this 11th game.
Play with our feet. Right here.
I see you, Carter! Let's go, DJ!
Cooper shanks her forehand, and Auburn reclaims the lead. Back in Athens, Georgia, on the campus of the University of Georgia. Defending champions from this school, knocked out by Texas A&M. We're going to have resolution of the doubles point one way or another here. Luciana Perez serves for A&M, trying to get to the tiebreak.
Great point overall and good rallying, very high quality. Perez that last forehand just couldn't create enough space to control that forehand. Well done from Perez, just mixing it up. Going 3 or 4 times to Bennett, and then just when Esposito maybe had lost her rhythm, just threw a deep ball into the forehand of Esposito, got the error.
Yeah, Perez so solid off the ground. She doesn't make a lot of mistakes. She's just very consistent. Esposito misses long. And Perez, as she was able to come through in her singles match last night against Lapata of Georgia. I mean, the rallies were averaging, and this is not an exaggeration, averaging more than 20 strokes per point. So they were
That was probably the lowest one.
Yeah, I mean, on average, that is. Probably closer to 30.
Yeah, I think so.
But the point being that she's just such an even keel player. She doesn't hurt herself. Goes out and just continues to be consistent, steady.
It's a great body serve. Very smart serve.
Chance to level it at 6 apiece and have it come down to the most dramatic of finishes. Auburn taking their half point on court 2. Texas A&M on their half on court 3.
Please stop that.
An NCAA official speaking to the crowd, and chastising a couple of fans that are being far too boisterous. And Perez says, "That's it. Let's go to a tiebreak. Settle this."
I think they called the serve out, but there might be a challenge, I would suspect.
And it was good, and it will be a tiebreak. So Auburn tries to appeal as Perez earns the hold. Here's the serve in question, which in the end was not to be questioned, right down the tee. Looked pretty solid on the line.
Yeah, I think, definitely looked like it was on the line. I mean, the way sometimes it curves in flight looks like it could eventually go out. But that definitely hit the line, yeah.
And the video review confirms that the ball was good. And so it will be Ava Esposito getting the tiebreak started. One game to decide who will grab the doubles point in Athens.
Going again for another big second serve. Esposito was so flat. It's battle pretty much of nerves, I think, in this tiebreak. Who can hold their nerve the best?
Battle of nerves, nerve-wracking. I mean, there's so much at stake for both schools just to try to get the upper hand. Mia Kupras at the line for Texas A&M.
What an excellent call that was. That was planned beautifully. A kick, a second serve. A lot of times, this is not what you expect, that the player is going to move at the net when the returner has so much time to be aggressive. That was a great call.
As much as you can have a set play in tennis, that's pretty much it.
That was good, yeah. You don't want to do it all the time, but that they hadn't done it one time. That was a good surprise tactic.
The communication between Perez and Kupras pays off. Perez able to extend.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They're looking to take control, which is a great, at this stage, a great mindset to have. That mentality of wanting the ball.
Standing at 5'2", the Peruvian used every bit of her arm extension as she could get that racket up, but does a good job with the volley. A&M very sharp through the opening 3 points.
I think they're giving the point to A&M actually, because Esposito's racket crossed the net, and there's no argument, so I think she knew it.
She was right there up on top of it, and of course it occurred right in front of the chair. Just keep an eye on Esposito as she goes. The chair umpire is to the right side of the screen out of the picture, but Esposito's follow through, and it just chops over the top of the net. And that's 4-0 in favor of Texas A&M. Bennett succumbs, offers up a double fault, and in so many ways for A&M, you know, a lot of questions coming in about the fatigue from last night. Mentally, they've lost so many doubles points already, coming out to a dramatic start to this. And this is a big turnaround for Kupras and Perez. The only tiebreak they played during this NCAA tournament was when they lost to UNC's 9th-ranked duo of Brantmeyer Hamilton. They won 1 point in the tiebreak. Well, they may have learned something from that, because
yeah, I think so.
Now they're looking to pitch a shutout.
I think they started a lot better. I think Esposito, for very first point, was a double fault. And that one just long, but it's been A&M, I think, at the start of this tiebreak that have been willing to move a lot more, to be more aggressive at the net, and that's been a big difference in the fact that this tiebreak has been a lot stronger for them as a team.
And Mark Weaver said he had full confidence that emotionally they'd be ready to play. You know, it's been 2 late finishes for Texas A&M. One past midnight. Last night, 15 minutes prior to the strike of the clock at midnight, and yet here they are. They didn't have a hit today. They rested, got their mental aspect done, but didn't have to work physically. And for this contest, of course, for the national championship, Auburn has never been past the Super Regional. That's the round of 16. First quarterfinal, first semifinal, now in their first final. Texas A&M, they try to make it 2 titles in the last 3 years in their 3rd consecutive final. Defeated Georgia 2 years ago, lost to Georgia last year on championship day to the Aggies.
That was a great point from Auburn in particular, just very consistent, a little bit more focused, I think, throughout that rally. And I think Jordan's telling them to try and go forward, look to move in when possible.
Again, another example of the contrasted styles between Jordan Szabo and Mark Weaver. Szabo's virtually with his duo after every single point. As Bennett puts this one away, and watch Szabo go right back over, offer his advice, talk about strategy. Mark Weaver content to just stay off the court and let his team just work it out themselves. He figures he's gotten them prepared to be on the court. Now they'll have to find the way to get it done.
I liked that last serve from Esposito because after a couple double faults, just threw in a kick serve as a first serve.
Esposito looking to make it 4 in a row for Auburn after falling behind. Esposito too strong, very ambitious with that forehand, and it misses the mark. A&M will have their chance, multiple if necessary, to wrap it up. Mia Kupras, the senior. Edmond Alberta will have her chance to earn the doubles point for A&M. We talked so much about how strong Auburn has been this year. When they do win the doubles point, Texas A&M has been as formidable as anyone. And there it is. Texas A&M takes the doubles point. In 2026, when they've won the doubles point, they've won 18 of 19 matches. And they have the initial point on the board. They'll need just 3 singles wins to be champions for the 2nd time in 3 years. Aggies feeling it in Athens early. Texas A&M making things a little easier on themselves. They swept Quinnipiac 4-0. And they got the doubles point, all was well and good. Lost the doubles point against Baylor, Southern Cal, North Carolina, and Georgia, yet somehow came back by winning 4 singles titles. They won't have to do that today. Now they just need 3 singles. For Auburn, the task at hand will be win 4 of these 6 singles matches before us. And we're going to get started with the singles in a moment, as on court number 1, DJ Bennett, the senior, will take on the unbeaten #1 player in the nation, Luciana Perez. Kupras from A&M as well, a standout in her senior year. Watch out for Okotoy. She is phenomenal as she goes up against the freshman Amarie. And then there's the pit crew back down in 4, 5, and 6. A whole lot of talent, including Myrna Rafat for Auburn.
Yeah, who clinched the semifinal match with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. She takes on Lexington Reed. Ashton Bowers, a very clean ball striker who's been so consistent, is taking on the very talented and consistent Martinez, and then at the number 6 position, Esposito against Smetanikov.
Time to get things going in the singles format as all 6 courts are ready. is truly a unique setting. This is one of the best facilities in all of college tennis across the nation. In fact, Mark Weaver was saying he thinks it's one of the best that there is. There is one little caveat, though. If you look to the right on court number 3, there's a little partition that sits there with some seating stands. It's just small, but it's enough that it blocks a little dip in courts 4, 5, and 6 over. And when those courts finish, or vice versa, you have to kind of traverse around that partition. We'll see how things go as this match unfolds, but it's going to be fun stuff. And we're going to begin on court number 1, as we expected, with a couple of players that are really motivated. One being DJ Bennett in her senior year, trying to finish her career at Auburn with a victory, going up against the best player in the nation currently, Luciana Perez, at the top of your screen, ready to receive.
Great first point from Bennett, and this is going to be a tough contest. That they play each other at the SEC tournament, and Bennett was telling us a little bit earlier that she was just so happy that she was able to get a set off Perez, because hasn't happened that often, only twice in this season, and you can see her record right now, undefeated. She's just been so dominant this season.
Started out in the number 2 position. She flip-flopped with Mia Kupris, who started in the 1 position. But Perez went 9-0 at the number 2 spot. Mark Weaver said, well, let's give her a shot up at number 1, and she's run off 19 in a row from that spot. The senior from Bellevue, Florida, DJ Bennett, 16th in the nation. And she knows a little bit about not only what it takes to face the number 1 player, but she's been the number 1 player. In fact, it was August of last year. She was the top ranked player in ITA rankings.
Yeah, first in Auburn history, actually, that she was able to get that number 1 spot.
See the 184 combined victories. That includes 95 wins in singles. She won't reach the century mark, as this will be her final match, but she would love to contribute a win on court number 1 and hand Perez her first loss of the year. It's been a tough go of it for DJ in this tournament. Doesn't have a result that she looks at as being a contribution to the Tigers' progress. In her opening match against Bryant, it was slow going. She was up 6-5 in the first set, and it still didn't finish. Then against Miami, she was leading Raquel Gonzalez 6-3, 4-3. That went unfinished. Against Duke, she had an extremely tough time. Against Irina Balous, who's 13th in the country, lost that match 7-5, 6-3. Lost to Cadence Brace of LSU in straight sets. And another straight set loss yesterday that was very humbling. 6-1, 6-love against 5th-ranked Taya Chavez. So DJ desperate to try to finish her career at Auburn with a win.
As she said, she doesn't feel like she's been playing her absolute best during this tournament. She said actually she feels like she's playing the best in doubles, but the singles is where she feels like she could get a lot better. But for her, it's all about just competing here in her last match. I mean, that's got to be playing at the back of your mind as well.
That's what Luciana Perez is going to do to you. And for DJ Bennett, it's going to be an exercise in patience today, because a lot of balls come back.
Yeah, Perez is just pretty much a brick wall. And then all of a sudden, when she has a short ball, she can inject a little bit more pace, especially behind the forehand side. But if Bennett can find that balance of being consistent, I think it'll be interesting to see physically how Perez is today.
And more than half of her victories, as you see there, against ranked opponents, so she has stepped it up when necessary and hopes to finish the year unblemished. Bennett succumbs once again and she'll be facing break point. Deciding point on court number 1 in DJ Bennett's opening effort. There's the gambit from Perez to try to get the early lead. Still potentially on her racket. Early doors across all 6 courts. Every court has at least one game recorded, except for the one we're currently focused on. But of course, it's best of 3 sets, so there's a lot of tennis still to be played here in Athens. Bennett wins the battle. Tremendous exchange goes the way of the senior for Auburn, and she's got her hold. Survives a couple of break points in the process. Right next door on court number 2, a chance to peek in on what's happening between Mia Kupras, who has held for Texas A&M, and there's the senior, 31st ranked Ekaterina Harudinova. Done the predominance of her workload this year in the number 2 position. Quality 2026 season, 19-6 overall, including 15-6 in the 2 spot. I feel like we just watched that over on court number 1, Joe.
We did. I was just thinking the same thing. All these courts, there's be a lot of long rallies. You're just getting that impression.
There you see the overall record as mentioned, but she has been phenomenal of late. She's picked up 3 wins in 4 rounds of competition. Didn't compete against Bryan in the opening round. Soundly got the win against Miami, 6-3, 6-4. Got even stronger against Duke, dropping a total of 3 games. Then Ekaterina got the better of 21st ranked Kyla Cross of LSU in straight sets. Was about to send it to a 3rd set yesterday against Ohio State before Auburn pulled off the victory, and she did not get to complete her match. But it's been a sturdy and steady performance from Ekaterina in the postseason.
Not a bad idea from Kupras, but didn't execute the drop shot that effectively. What I like about Hurdinova's game is how well she can redirect pace, and even when you feel like you might have her in trouble, she can change defense to offense so effectively. That was a perfect case at last point, just kept Kupras on the move.
Hurdinova transferred from Florida International University down in Miami to join Auburn. now in her senior year, hoping to help secure the Tigers their first ever national championship, and she's got herself a hold for 1-all. Currently ranked 50th in the nation in singles play. Mia Kupras, as we mentioned, hails from Edmonton, Alberta, which is a city of 1 million. Sits upon the North Saskatchewan River. Started the year at the #1 spot, but with the rise of Perez and how formidable she's been, Mia was moved over to the #2 spot and has performed admirably. Oh, and there's an announcement that there might be some lightning in the area, and I believe they're going to have to clear the courts. That means that everybody in the stands, as well as the players on court, are going to have to evacuate Dan McGill Tennis Complex for the moment. And that will put a pause in the action, as just a couple of games recorded on all courts. Yeah, for the safety of everybody concerned here in Athens, it is going to be an evacuation, and we are going to pause for the moment as the national championship will continue when play is allowed to resume from Athens. Back in Athens, Georgia, after an hour and 7-minute delay due to lightning in the area, but we are pleased to report that we're back to the action as Auburn and Texas A&M just a couple of games under their belt in the singles play. Court #3 is our destination to resume the action from this national championship, and a chance to peek in. Game #3 between Okatoy of Auburn, Marie of Texas A&M. When lightning caused the pause, both teams had to evacuate the stadium, as did all the fans. But worth reminding you, tennis fan, that the opening point did go the way of Texas A&M as the Aggies got the doubles competition. That is the senior from Nairobi, Kenya, Angela Okatoy. She has been a fantastic contributor to the Auburn Tigers' success this year. This is the freshman from Iași, Romania, 71st ranked player, Elinka Amarie. Joined the team in January, and Coach Mark Weaver said she was gung-ho right from the start to get involved. She has been an enthusiastic contributor. Impressive freshman season, Jill. She has done some incredible work just coming in. Again, it's only been 5 months in College Station, and she's already put together a 10-4 record. Picked up a couple of wins. Was on the brink of a win in the opening match that she played against Quinnipiac. 6-1, 5-4 before the Aggies had secured the victory. Quality wins over Baylor in straight sets, as well as Southern Cal. Then it really got tested. It was an emotional challenge yesterday here in Georgia against the Bulldogs.
It was, yeah. I mean, the crowd got feisty. They really got involved. They were very, very loud and boisterous. And there was a moment that Amarie just got a little bit distracted and got a little bit bothered by the crowd. And then they even got louder, which didn't quite help her that much. And it's something that she has to get used to. She's very new to this type of college system, only being here for 5 months, so it's not something that comes naturally to be able to deal with those challenges, I think, of the crowd. But she has really integrated herself with ease with the team. And already coming as a freshman at the number 3 position, that's pretty good. That's pretty great.
Yeah, without question. It was trial by fire yesterday for the postseason for Marie, but she looks to bounce back against an exceptionally talented senior for Auburn, Angela Okatoy. So this will be maybe the lessons learned from yesterday might bode well for Marie. Good example of Angela Okatoy, what she's capable of, as she has the break for 2-1. Court 4, and time now to check in on the progress that has been all Myrna Rafat. Here is the sophomore serving up, double break, 3-love. Her opponent, sophomore Lexington Reed of Texas A&M, and for Rafat, she wasn't a certainty to be in the lineup yesterday against Ohio State. She's been a bit injured. And the question mark, she did not compete against LSU in the quarterfinals, but boy, did she come through big. Ultimately securing the clinching match against Ohio State yesterday.
Yeah, it was close between her and Okatoy. They were finishing almost at the exact same time, and Okatoy just finished slightly earlier, so it ended up being Rafat that was able to clinch it for Auburn. But feisty competitor, always goes out there with a lot of heart. One of the hardest workers on the team.
Lexington Reed has one of the 2 breaks back, and she'll give it a shot from the line now. The sophomore hails from Orlando, Florida. You see the unique setting that is courts 4, 5, and 6. Just to the left there is just sort of a drop down, a sort of lowered bowl, if you will, for the final 3 courts. A little elevated to the left for courts 1, 2, and 3. It creates a bit of a challenge for the coaches who have to navigate between the 2, because you have to go around that little partition that's in the middle. There's court 1, 2, and 3 to the left. There's the partition and how it sinks down a good 6, 7 feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge discrepancy, but it's enough to actually make a difference where it feels like it's a little bit of a separation between the 1, 2, and 3 courts and the 4, 5, and 6. I think it's a little bit tough for the coaches to be able to navigate as well, to jump over just to the other side. And I think they do a concerted effort, I think, to just have one of the assistant coaches do one bank of courts, and then of course on the other side the head coach or assistant coach to help 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, yes, in talking with Mark Reed before this final, Mark Weaver was over on courts 5 and 6 as court 1 was going to be the finish.
Yeah.
Once everything ended there, everybody made the migration to the far side to see how things shaped up and ended on court 1.
That's a little bit better competitiveness here from Reed after getting off to a slower start. She relies on her serve so much in her game, and it's been a big improvement over the course of the last year, just as far as getting a little bit more pop and a little bit more accuracy.
Well, Reed won't have a perfect trip to the line, broken in her first 2 efforts, but she's still in a good position to close the gap to a single game. Thus far, Auburn leading and up at least a break on 4 of the 6 singles courts. Of course, the Tigers have to win 4 singles matches to have any shot at being national champions.
Oh, it's an excellent strike on the ball. I mean, she was on the defense the entire rally. Rafat did well to handle that shorter apply and took advantage of it. Great angle off the court.
Last year, Lexington Reed stepped in mightily as a freshman, really meshed nicely with the group, according to Coach Mark Weaver. Mild-mannered and very poised, despite being inexperienced. A lot expected of her as a sophomore. And she has produced, particularly in the 3 position where she's gone 10-4, but in the 4 position now she's taken off a very tough competitor as Myrna Rafat has moved things back into a deciding point.
Yeah, that's one of her biggest weapons. If she has time on that backhand, it's back-to-back now that she's being able to just flatten that ball off the court. And something that Reed's been working on is her movement. She's gotten a lot quicker off the baseline, but the way Rafat takes the ball slightly earlier, it just cuts down on Reed's time to recover.
Reed will survive, and she has the hold, but Rafat up an early break in the opening set. New mic, okay, good. This one's locked in place. It won't drop now. Yep, I do. I got you. Okay. Copy. Continuing on with our coverage of the national championship match between Auburn and Texas A&M. All 6 courts continue to rock and roll with a couple of break leads throughout the 6 courts, but there is a peek in on court number 6, the deciding point of the 6th game. Darius Matanikov has an early break 3-2.
This is an interesting matchup for me between these two because Esposito, we saw in the doubles how much firepower she has off the ground, and she's done an exceptional job this season with the record of 30-5, but it's the last 22 matches that she's been dominating, winning, only losing twice.
Yeah,
22 matches she's played.
Contributing 3 wins here in the postseason tournament that is the NCAA's. The junior from Brantford, Connecticut. 7 of her last 8 completed matches as well. She's second on the team in overall wins with 30, but it was getting the better of Alessia Cow yesterday that really kind of gave Auburn kind of a little boost of energy midway through. She had a tough opening set, 7-5, but then blitzed Cow 6-love in the second.
I mean, the type of game she plays, you can see that happening because she just goes after everything. To finish my point, we saw the firepower that she had in the doubles. She doesn't do it as much in the singles, and she's trying to stay a little bit more consistent, especially against Smetanikov, who's just so rock solid from the baseline. So she's waiting and picking and choosing when to really step up. That's the side that she can sometimes make a little bit more mistakes, especially if she hits it long. She just doesn't have that much rotation on the backhand side. I think Smetanikov very well aware she's going to try and target that side as much as possible.
Esposito having her best season 2 years ago, finished 11-16. Last year improved mightily, 24 wins, 30 this year. Being a mighty valuable cog in the system for Jordan Szabo.
That's great hustle for Smetanikov. The strategy for A&M in this contest really is Smetanikov's consistency, because Esposito is a good example there, can press and just start to overhit. Well, this is interesting. Right away, the umpire correcting Esposito's call and saying the ball was good, and now Esposito challenging the umpire's call.
Yeah, there is video review.
Wait, did we replay the point?
Yes.
So Esposito was right.
Ball was out, Daria. So it's
No, wait, you literally overruled it. Isn't that a play?
No.
Don't you replay it?
no, because she can challenge my out.
50-40.
30-40.
So Smetanikov just arguing the fact that she thought they could replay the point since it was a overrule and a mistake by the umpire, but the ball was out, so it does go to Esposito. That's a great approach shot. It's a difficult one. It was low. Esposito had to hit up on the ball, but got the depth.
So deciding point in the 7th game. And Smetanikov trying to reclaim the lead via the break. Esposito fighting hard, already saving a couple of break points. Will have to try to rid herself of another threat. Smetanikov can't find a way to the break, and Esposito comes back, forces ahead, 4-3 opening set. Familiarity with the SEC and the national championship the last 3 years. has featured two SEC schools. In 2024, Texas A&M picked up their first ever title, beating Georgia in the process. Georgia got their revenge last year. But for Auburn, they had never been to the quarterfinals of the NCAA championship tournament. Now they've made not only a step to the Elite Eight and Final Four, but they're in the championship match, and hoping that this is their year to pick up title number 1. Over to the last court to take a peek in. We've looked in on everybody else, but we have saved a good one for the last little peek. Sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia, Ashton Bowers of Auburn, taking on this young lady, Violeta Martinez, the senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, transferred in her senior year from the University of Illinois, Jill, to arrive at College Station, and has she been an important part of the team this year.
She's just an absolute fighter and grinder. I mean, you're not going to see her give up at all. And I think it's a pretty bold move as a senior to be able to transfer and take, a different chance on yourself. It's a whole new experience, and she's thrived here at A&M.
You see her overall record, very impressive, but in the 5 spot, she has been brilliant, posting 11 wins against a single loss. You can just see from this angle how hard Martinez has to work against Ashton Bowers, one of the few players that's competing in this tournament here in Athens, Georgia, that's from Georgia. Her 64 combined victories this season is setting a school record. We mentioned she has 33 in doubles, and she leads the team in overall wins this year in singles with 31 wins versus 5 losses.
Got a big serve. Overall, Bowers has a big game. I think she's one of the cleanest ball strikers, and if her first serve is firing and she gets that first strike on the ball, she's so dangerous. This is an interesting matchup just because it's a completely different contrast of styles. Very aggressive from Bowers, and Martinez a little bit more of a hustler, plays more defensively. That was a good aggressive point as soon as I said that, but she's one of the quickest on the team. She's so fast, so it's difficult to really get the ball by her because of how quick she moves along the baseline.
Yeah, Mark Weaver says it's a very intense work ethic. He says if we tell her to, do an hour on a stationary bike, she's going to do 2 hours. She's a hard worker, but all of that endurance paid off. I mean, she's had 2 fantastic wins in the last 2 rounds. Martinez, the hero in the quarterfinals, and a big victory in a comeback yesterday as Bowers serves 30 all. Talk more about Martinez and aforementioned heroics. Here's Martinez who in the quarterfinals against North Carolina clinched the semifinal berth. She got past the Tar Heels' Anna Frey. 7-6 in the third, winning the tiebreak 7-5, finishing at 12:25 a.m. And then had to come right back against Georgia's Sofia Rojas and pulled off an amazing comeback, down 6-1, 4-1. Ended up winning at 6-3 in the third.
Just a little bit of a short return there that Bowers took care of easily.
Be a deciding point for this 7th game. Bowers picked up a couple of wins early, was able to contribute to Auburn's success in the opening 2 rounds against Bryant and Miami. She dropped a total of 4 games in 4 sets in the opening 2 rounds. Last 3 matches in the Super Regional quarterfinals and semifinals went unfinished. But she's got herself a hold, and Martinez left wanting. A little disappointment for the Aggie. As Bowers takes 1 step forward, 4-3. Things shaping up on courts 1 and 3, very much in favor of Auburn. On the left on court number 1, DJ Bennett serving 5-1 opening set against the unbeaten number 1 player in the country, Luciana Perez. And over on court number 3, Auburn's Angela Okatoy, also serving for the opening set. And Okatoy will have set point. So as it stands currently, across the 6 courts, Auburn ahead on 5 of the 6, and they're on serve on the only court they're not leading, which is court number 4. Here's Okatoy's bid to give Auburn hope on court number 3.
Just a little bit long from Okatoy, but she's been in control of this first set because she's been on top of the baseline, just dictating, and Amarie is so far behind the baseline. And when you're in that position, you just can't recover and change that dynamic around. You just end up scrambling and running from side to side.
DJ Bennett, in danger of being broken by Perez on court 1. And Perez with the break. So it closes the gap ever so slightly against DJ Bennett. 5-2 in favor of Auburn. Okatoy continuing to try to find her way to the opening set on court 3 for Auburn. And that'll miss. Okatoy with another set point.
Oh, that error is just the fact that because she feels like she can swing so freely, trying to find the corner, the depth on the forehand, but that was a good confident swing, even though she missed it. So you can tell she's feeling good out there, still set point.
Oh, and it sneaks in, and Okatoy gets some help from the net cord. That'll frustrate Amarie because the opening set has gone to Auburn on court 3. And quickly over to court number 6 we go. Another set point for Auburn in case of Ava Esposito. She'll miss that forehand, and Smetanikoff will have a chance to serve to try to get to 5-all. But Auburn in good stead as they find their way to the lead on the majority of the courts. Back over to court number 1 we are headed. As Luciana Perez serving 2-5. Number 1 player in the nation, 5'2", Luciana Perez, the junior from Ciudad de los Reyes. Some call it Lima in Peru. She has been phenomenal this season, has only lost a handful, not even a handful of sets this season. As she has been so dominant, and particularly in the number 1 position.
I think just 2, right? She's just lost 2 sets. Maybe 3.
Sure. Definitely no more than 4.
Not many.
Yeah, but regardless, as we fumble around for whichever number it is DJ Bennett who said, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from the fact she's one of the players who was able to grab a set off Perez.
Yeah, and she started amazing. I think what she's done well from the beginning is made it physical. We're talking about how Perez was cramping yesterday in the semifinal match. We're wondering how she would turn up physically, and Bennett's been very consistent in trying to make this match as physical as possible.
How about a turnaround from Lexington Reed? She has herself a set point. Remember, she was down 4-love to Rafat. But she can't convert, and Rafat's still in the mix as it's 5-all now.
Percentages there on the cross for a very long time. That's a great finish and acceleration from Bennett.
Ava Esposito making inroads on Smetanikov's serve over on court 6. Already had a chance to take the opening set, but she'll have another. She'll have multiple set points if necessary. Auburn already having taken the opening set on court 3. Looking to add court 6 to the mix. Esposito, frozen rope to secure the break and the set for Auburn on court 6. Auburn out in front on 2 courts as DJ Bennett of Auburn also trying to add the opening set on her side of the ledger. Shot.
Felt like a drill out there, cross court rally drill. But Bennett doing well to just wear Perez down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when we saw earlier today, the drills were going on court 1. DJ Bennett was hitting with Coach Jordan Szabo, trying to get herself ready to take on the #1 player in the nation. So far, so good. Set point for the Tiger. DJ Bennett able to do what very few have in 2026. Take a set off of Luciana Perez, and she hopes with one more set she can be the only player to defeat Perez this year. So Auburn now out in front by a set on 3 courts. As we take a peek in on court number 2 with Kupres and Arudinova, as well as on court number 5, Ashton Powers of Auburn versus Violeta Martinez.
Great construction of the point from Arudinova. She just changes direction so easily and disguises it well, but got a little bit more aggressive on the finish on the last forehand. great fighting from Kupras. Both Kupras and Martinez, two of the biggest fighters on the A&M team, just so consistent when they need it the most.
Cooper's had a massive win against Georgia yesterday in the semifinal, knocking off the 7th-ranked player in the world, Asha Gold-Merritt, 6'4", 6'2". She's just so focused and trying to give the Aggies their first one-set lead.
Off-pace serve from Martinez gets the mistake, so even on court 5.
And a decided point and another set point for Kupras of Texas A&M on court 2. Set point saved. Now Rodinova levels it at 5 apiece. So Texas A&M still left wanting. They have yet to produce an opening set for their cause. As back to court number 4, Myrna Rafat at one point was up 4-0. Certainly has seen that lead evaporate as she tries to get herself to an opening set tiebreak.
It's been a very topsy-turvy set in this particular contest, and Reed didn't get off to a very strong start, and Rafat came out with so much energy. As she found her form. Is a great fight back, just to be able to get back to good focus here from Rafat, to not get discouraged after having that big lead.
So tiebreak will settle things on 4. Just as a reminder that Auburn needs to win 4 singles matches, and they currently have a 1-set lead on 3 courts as Rafat tries to make it 4. Lexington Reed of A&M serving to begin the tiebreak.
So Reed called the return out, and Rafat just wants to see the challenge, and it has been overruled, so it must just hit part of the line. Great challenge from Auburn.
It was a big win yesterday against OSU. As mentioned, she got the final singles match to clinch the victory for Auburn against Ohio State, and now having to work extra hard after a dominant start against Reed today.
A little change up on the return there, just high and slow, way above the shoulders of Rafat.
Mark Weaver calls Lexington Reed the most improved player of this talented Aggie squad. She really worked hard in the offseason. Intense focus on improving her footwork, working on her serve. Said her serve last year as a freshman wasn't a weapon, but she's made the improvements to really bring it to the forefront.
She's always had the pace behind the serve, so I just think a lot of it was having the belief and the trust in herself to hit her spot. She's worked on the accuracy, and also doesn't always have to be about power. Sometimes throwing in a kick serve. I think just understanding that mentality that you don't always have to try and power through your opponents, because she does get that easy pace all around. That's a great combination. Really good placement on that serve. Really kicked up on Reed's high on the backhand side.
Next on court number 5, Bowers and Martinez seem to be heading the same direction as far as finishing off the set with a tie break.
That's great footwork there from Martinez, just taking 5 or 6 little extra steps to get into position. A little bit of luck there from Rafat on the serve. Just let court and just died off the bounce.
Sensitive Bowers, she's disgusted with herself putting that forehand in the net, but Martinez really asks a lot of her opponents. She's willing to stand in and work. Bowers much cut from the same cloth. This will be a fascinating contest to see how it plays out on court 5. Meanwhile, Reed has seen her 4-1 lead start to dissipate on court 4. Martinez will have a chance to give Texas A&M something to be excited about, and that is a 1-set lead.
Very calm and well handled from Reed. That low backhand, that is her favorite shot. Just so secure on that side. One of the cleanest backhands. That's bad luck for Martinez on set point. A let called. And Lexington Reed will have a chance to take the opening set tiebreak for A&M on court number 4. And Martinez was all set in position, and that drop shot looked like it was going to be pure. I thought she called the let, but maybe I got that wrong. Maybe it was the umpire.
You might be right.
I think she just saw it at the back of the court. Oh, what a great lob from Martinez. crafty play, the drop shot. It wasn't the best drop shot, but brought Bowers forward in a beautifully placed lob to get the first set for A&M.
Martinez secures the lead for Texas A&M on the one court where they have the advantage, but Reed trying to get it done as well. She has a set point. Lexington Reed comes back from 4-love down in the opening set to give A&M their second lead. So Martinez and Reed on 5 and 4 respectively help out the Aggies' cause. Over to court number 2. Kupris might be able to give Texas A&M even further joy. Harudinova for Auburn, serving 15 all.
Desperately wanted a forehand there, Kupris, but it was a too high quality of a shot from Harudinova. Just couldn't get around it.
And it seems tie breaks are the order for the opening sets.
It's a great service game. Really used the body serve well there to catch Kupris off balance. Strong serve to push it to a tie break.
Harudinova and Kupris. Tug of war for the opening set on court 2. As mentioned, Auburn finds themselves with a 1-set leads on courts 1, court 3, and court 6. Texas A&M, who only has to win 3 of the 6 matches, have a 1-set lead on courts 4 and 5. Court 2 now hanging in the balance. A&M 27-5 on the year, ranked 3rd in the nation, champions 2 years ago. Pick up their 2nd title and join a rare group of schools that have won multiple national championships. They would be just the 7th school to accomplish that. Auburn, their first ever final, trying to grab a title for the first time in women's tennis.
That's some unbelievable ball striking from Harudinova. She's so good on the backhand side. When she looks like she's in trouble, she somehow is able to change around, create such good depth on that wing.
Yeah, not easy to hit past and through Kupras, but she set things up nicely and then pulled the trigger. And what a way to set the tone in the opening point of the tiebreak.
Just caught that a little bit late. Trying to catch Kupras off guard by going behind her, but just didn't get in position early enough. Quick, easy point back for Kupras just to get that mini break back.
Good result for Auburn to be able to get the opening sets on a couple of these. This is the first time they're playing at night. Texas A&M has the advantage of having had all of their matches and practice and everything set up for the evening, so they've got the better experience in playing under the lights. It hasn't seemed to bother Auburn at all, though, early here. Things very deliberate to get through this opening tiebreak. There was a little over an hour delay due to lightning, and as the players came back, got through their warm-up, so some of the energy seems to have dissipated. Each team is trying to now find another level to get themselves going.
Well, having spoken to both of the coaches earlier today, they both mentioned for sure there's naturally going to be some nerves and some tension out there today.
Also just getting kind of a sense of the crowd too, because a lot of the crowd left during the hour delay, so it's kind of just brought the level of intensity down just a bit. But of course the national championship is on the lines. The players themselves, they have plenty to be motivated by.
That is an excellent slice from Cooper. Somehow knifed that slice, got so much pace on it. Most of the defensive slices she's been hitting have been floating just in the middle of the court, but she really got a lot of pace on that. It was a difficult shot to handle.
Cooper's one of the players on Texas A&M that lends itself to the interesting storyline, the undercurrent between Texas A&M and Auburn. Of course, Kupras was recruited to A&M by then assistant coach Jordan Szabo. In fact, there are 4 players on Texas A&M Aggies that were recruited by Szabo. Kupras along with Luciana Perez, Lexington Reed, and Darius Matanikov. He says obviously there's rules and regulations. He doesn't have the same contact, doesn't have the closeness with the players he once did. It was only 2 years ago he was in the fold at A&M, helping them win a national championship. But it does lend a bit of familiarity too. He's very familiar with their games, and he can understandably impart some knowledge to his players, such as Harudinova.
Just errors from Hrudianova helping Kupras out in this tiebreak.
So Kupras and Harudinova will swap ends as we take a look at the historic run of Georgia in the background behind our graphic. These are the schools that have won multiple titles. Jill, you were able to contribute to 2 of those teams, picking up 1 at Texas and 1 at Florida. Stanford, of course, the all-time leader, but A&M, if they're victorious, would join this group.
Yeah, that would be amazing that they would make their second one, and then of course it would be Auburn's first ever NCAA title if they get across the line.
And to do so in 2 years under the tenure of Jordan
That's
Szabo would be
amazing.
something remarkable. It's one of the aspects that his team talks about, the fact that he brought this new energy. DJ Bennett was mentioning earlier today when we spoke to her about the change in the psychology, the motivation that Szabo brings.
I think what she kept reiterating was just the positivity and the passion that he brings across the board. But he also is going to have that mindset and knows what it takes to get across the line, having been a part of that A&M national championship.
Cooper's a dominant start, but we've seen substantial leads evaporate pretty quickly here in this championship final. So Cooper's won't take that for granted. She tries to slam the door on a 1-set lead.
That's a great change up on the serve. Yeah, just a little bit more off pace into the forehand side of Hrudinova.
Multiple set points for Mia Kupras. And that'll do it for the senior, as she allows Texas A&M access to the scoreboard, 1-set lead. National Championship of Women's Tennis on the campus of the University of Georgia. 6 matches, all taking place simultaneously. All have gotten through the opening set. It is Auburn leading on courts 1, 3, and 6. Texas A&M has the lead on 2, 4, and 5. It's court 3 where we are headed next with Angela Okatoy comfortably out in front on Alinka Amarie. Okatoy of Auburn in the near court. Okatoy misses wide. Okatoy, a tremendous story, as she's the senior from Nairobi, Kenya, taking on the freshman from Romania. She's an inspiration back home in Kenya. She's something of already a burgeoning social media star, and as well as her tennis talent, Jill, has lended itself there. She's hoping to inspire a whole new generation of talent from that country.
Yeah, we got the privilege of talking to her a little bit earlier while they were warming up earlier in the day. They were in the hitting in the heat of the day, actually, for this night match. That's a great point. Good rallying off the ground from both. But yeah, just the sense that when she gets to go home back to Kenya, she said she can feel from everyone back home how much inspiration that she's had as an impact back at home. How many kids come up to her and say how they feel like she's changed, that she just has a lot more confidence in herself, and just the way she competes on the court, I feel like is unbelievable. I think she's one of the best competitors, but business mind as well. Wants to start a nonprofit organization back home to help kids get rackets, and
Remarkable.
I love it. Yeah.
Wants to open up some facilities to try to get Kenyan kids into the sport. Yeah, has pro aspirations as well. One of 3 seniors on this Auburn squad, and she's going to start to make her way in the next couple of months out onto the pro tour and give it a go. But you can already tell, yeah, she's got a feisty nature to her that I think will serve her well if she's able to really put in the time to get on the pro circuit. And of course has that no weakness hashtag that she throws out there. She just doesn't quit. And a chance to break for 4-1.
And despite the scoreline in this match, a set and up a break for Okatoy, every single game has been a battle. It has not been easy to be able to get across the line, so it has been about playing these big points the best in this match.
Okatoy misses long, and Amari able to get the hold, survives the threat. Okatoy still in control, up a set and a break on court 3. Court 1, we're starting to see the reemergence of the talent of one Luciana Perez. She has given herself a break lead through 6 games against DJ Bennett. Auburn Tigers standing at the top of your screen, serving 2-4 second set. Great hustle from Bennett, and this turnaround here in the second set, for me, I feel like it's because Perez has just gotten more aggressive consistently off the ground. She's just hitting with a lot more pace. I noticed it in the doubles too. I was surprised that she was just trying to roll the ball a little bit more on the doubles court, but this second set has been a lot better from Perez, just attacking a bit more. Yeah, can't help but feel that there was just a little moment, you know, for her to try to build up some strength after last night's debilitating, I mean, exhausting match with Lopata. You know, reminiscent of Martinez yesterday, after she won the match in the quarterfinal for A&M, it took her a while to get into the match against Rojas. Was down 6-1, 4-1. And Mark Weaver said he went over to her and says, just keep doing what you're doing. If you keep plugging away, you're going to be back in it. Martinez came back, and Perez much the same way. It's been sort of a walk to warm up, and now she's starting to get into a trot.
Well, I think that's just that belief, knowing that you can battle it out, and then the adrenaline can come if you just keep working and digging yourself out of a hole that you've created. She was so far back behind the baseline in the first set, so she's really turned it around. I think she brought some energy as well, and sometimes that can just physiologically change how you feel inside.
Yeah, there's no doubt she's striking the ball with more authority than she did in the opening set, and Bennett's starting to feel the weight of that as Perez making moves towards finding another break point. Perez will indeed have a chance to extend her lead to 5-2.
It's just a heavier ball as well. It's really pushing Bennett back a bit further.
Bennett will continue her tennis aspirations to the professional level at the conclusion of this, which will be her final match at Auburn. Hoping to go out with a contributing victory towards an Auburn title. Again, has had a rough NCAA tournament thus far. 2 undecided matches to begin, and then 3 consecutive losses. But with a 1-set lead on the #1 player in the nation. Looking to give herself a lift here, trying to fend off break points. Double fault from Bennett, and things continue to go from bad to worse. Perez will have a chance to serve to make it 1 set apiece. Second set action starting to move a little quicker as both schools try to find another level of energy. The motivation is certainly there, but the energy in Dan McGill Tennis Complex has sort of been muted. Fan support is not quite as vibrant as it was, so the players are taking matters in their own hands, particularly in the case of Texas A&M. On the left is court #1 as Lieutenant Perez tries to make it 1 set apiece for the Aggies. Daria Smetanikov is doing the same exact thing for A&M over on court #6 at the far end.
And that's good news if you're an A&M fan, because in the beginning it just felt like those first sets were going pretty quickly in Auburn's favor. So I think when your teammates look up at the scoreboard and you see both of these A&M players, Perez and Smetanikov, making a push and turning around this second set, it just gives a little bit of boost to everybody else across the courts.
It's almost at times, sometimes a little disjointed the way the 3 courts are separated, but once you get a feeling of the spirit of some of your teammates fighting, it can certainly offer a lift. Perez, 2 points away.
just too good from Esposito. She can go on these streaks where she can hit outright winners from anywhere. So, but Smetanikov's just been much better in the second set, being able to dig out a few more of these points from Esposito, causing her to miss a little bit more.
Bennett trying to be a bit more aggressive. Perez in the end able to get the pass.
Yeah, she tried to sneak forward a little bit there, Bennett, but just got off balance, and loved the way that Perez just moved quickly up to that ball. Took time away from Bennett. That's a good finish from Smetanikoff. Great angle off the court.
So set points for A&M on both 1 and 6. Perez on the left, trying to make it one set apiece. Smetanikoff on the right, doing the same. Oh, Perez tried to lean into that, but just lost control.
Let's go. Right here. Let's go.
The deciding point on court 1. And I believe that set point converted for Smetanikoff. Well, you can see, because there's not a lot of fan support, and there's not a lot for people to celebrate there, Smetanikoff just kind of nonchalantly says, okay, we're going to go to a third set. So court number 6 goes to the third. Court number 1 now is Perez with another set point herself for A&M. Bennett's backhand means it's going to go 3 on court number 1. Can't clear the net, and court 5's where we're heading next. So already a couple of sets into the third. As we rejoin the coverage on court 5, Martinez has taken over the second set and has really given Ashen Bowers fits today.
I think it just can build up the way Martinez plays. It just can get so frustrating that you can't hit the ball past her. The power is not the answer against Martinez because of her quickness. And that pace is not going to bother her. I think because of her height, if you can mix it up and throw a little higher, heavier balls, but Bowers doesn't tend to play that style of tennis.
Did I say that Martinez was giving Bowers fits?
Yeah.
It's been just a source of agitation, the frustration really manifesting itself late for the Auburn Tiger. Violetta looking for her 4th win and looking to go out in her senior year in style, making that decision to transfer from Illinois to compete at one of the premier programs in the nation. That's not throwing shade at Illinois, it's just fact. Texas A&M has been right in the mix for national championships the last 3 years. So she went to College Station and she's making the most of it. And how about that? You talked about the decision to leave to go play your senior year somewhere else, a different school. And she was used to playing, ironically in some fashion, at Illinois, like in the 3, 4, 5 position, and wasn't getting a lot of time, didn't get she was field contributing, but she's 11-1 in the 5 position at A&M, and they're vying for the national championship.
I just think there's been so many positives for the move for Martinez. Just the ones that you currently mentioned, but also one of the biggest goals of her college career was to be able to make NCAA singles, and she was able to accomplish that, which is a huge feat. That was something that she dreamt about. I think that's a pretty cool moment.
Wins over Quinnipiac, Southern Cal, North Carolina, and Georgia in this NCAA tournament. What a way to contribute if she's able to pull this off. 2 points away from grabbing this in straight sets. 5 victories in the 6 rounds. Didn't finish her match against Baylor. Violetta was into a 3rd set. She's gone every which way, and she's looking to finish this off as Ashton Bowers is just trying somehow to dig deep, find a way to prolong the 2nd set. And it'll be a match point for Violetta Martinez.
It's really unfortunate timing there for Bowers, but she does hesitate sometimes on that 2nd serve, and Martinez has been so consistent on the return.
Violetta Martinez, who had to battle late the last 2 nights, clinching after midnight in the quarterfinal. A set comeback from a set down yesterday. She's the first to finish off a singles match as she gets it done in 2. Quick work at the office, and Texas A&M finds themselves in the position with the lead. 2-0 on the scoreboard. Angela Okatoy is trying to change that and get Auburn a digit next to their name. She serves for the match on court 3. Texas A&M needs 2 more singles victories to produce their 2nd title in the last 3 years.
Almost hitting the backdrop with her swing because of how Okatoy's been pushing her so far behind the baseline with that depth.
Spazo says that Angela is the spark plug of the team, the energetic and passionate one, looking to give the Tigers a lift. 2 points from grabbing this contest. Okatoy will have match point. As she wants to be the Kenyan Serena Williams. She has pro aspirations. She admires the business acumen of Serena, not to mention a storied career. And she's looking to finish off her senior year, all 4 years at Auburn, by winning her final match. Match point.
Still like the way she approached that ball, just going after it. And Okatoy, you never get the sense that she's hesitating, always stays committed.
The 2nd match point on this deciding point as she hopes to pick up her 16th consecutive win. Angela Okatoy has Auburn on the scoreboard as she secures a win. 16 straight singles decisions, finishes the year with a 23-2 record, and helps top-ranked Auburn finally get access to the scoreboard. Over on court number 4, Lexington Reed has really jumped out to a quality start in the second. Remember, she came back from 4-love down in the opening set to take it in a tiebreak. Built up a sizable lead here in the second and is serving for the match. And this would be huge for A&M. If Reed can find a way to get the hold here, the Aggies would be one singles match away from their second national title. And the sophomore ready to dig in against Myrna Rafat. But Jill, as we have experienced over time, it's one thing to say I'd like to do something, but when you see the finish line, particularly serving for it, it's not as easy as it is said and
No,
done.
it's never as easy as you think it is. I mean, nerves are always going to come into play. That's absolutely natural. It's trying to be able to fight through those nerves at the moment. But luckily for Reed in this situation, she does have a weapon of that serve that can help her get out of trouble and finish matches. It's a great approach shot, well handled.
It could get a little change up too, because Rafat's been used to seeing Reed pound from the baseline, sneaking in and giving herself an opportunity here, just 2 points away. Rafat, a very tough out in 2026, but Reed has designs on getting across the finish line here quickly.
Oh, wow, it's one of her best returns. Rafat right on the baseline. I felt like Reed was still finishing her service motion when that return came back at her feet.
Break opportunity for Auburn. Rafat does indeed find a way to take away Reed's serve, and that'll cut the lead to 5-3. Not yet done on court number 4. As Texas A&M starting to turn things around. Perez on court number 1 has broken DJ Bennett to take the opening game. Smetanikov for the Aggies on court 6, taking the opening 2 games of the third set. And here's Rafat trying to further make inroads on Reed's lead on court number 4.
Well, she got the shot that she wanted, but again, just a little bit too flat there for Rafat. Great control and consistency from A&M.
And Lexington Reed trying to do it the old-fashioned way, break to take the match. Interesting dynamic for A&M tonight, because it was such a loud, boisterous environment when Georgia was on the court here at home last night against the Aggies. Tonight there's no such presence. Almost seems like it's a virtually sterile environment in comparison. It wasn't hostile per se last night, but it was super loud and very much in your face kind of support for the Bulldogs. Shot misses, and it's going to be virtually a handful of chances for Reed to give Texas A&M a 3-1 lead.
And you make a good point, because talking to Mark Weaver a little bit earlier, the A&M coach, they actually prefer to be a more subdued team. You don't really see them getting, as far as the players themselves, getting boisterous and loud. They like sort of more the quiet,
the even
confidence.
keel.
Yeah, so that might actually help them tonight.
Certainly doesn't seem to have hurt them. Reed with match points. And there it is, the double fall from Afad and Lexington Reed. The sophomore from Orlando picks up her 20th win on the season and gives Texas A&M a 3-1 lead in the national championship title matchup in Athens. Court number 6, Darius Smetanikoff, the senior for Texas A&M, serving up a break in the final set. Interesting in talking with Coach Mark Weaver coming into this final. Lost a lot of talent after the 2025 season. Mary Stoyano, one of the players who departed, he said that squad a year ago had a lot of talent, perhaps even more overall, just natural talent than this year. But what he's most proud of is the cohesiveness with which this group has come together. He says they're all very close-knit, and that's actually made this team perhaps even better. It's certainly in the position now to vie for the title, which was elusive last year. Smetanikoff, very much a part of that story about, a couple years back when Carson Branstein came into the program at Texas A&M, she had to take a back seat. And like some players might have taken that personally and said, I'm going to go pout or transfer schools. Mark Weaver said she took it on as a challenge.
Yeah, I think it was an unbelievable sort of mini transformation for her, because it just made her work harder and harder to get better. And I think just to have that, to be able to embrace that instead of getting upset about it, was huge for Daria. And sometimes I think, you can have the most talented team, but if they don't get along, like you said, that cohesiveness was so important. I think Mark was saying he would take that, because it's just made the team gel so much more and support each other so much more.
Yeah, it was a long season. You play a lot of matches. Players ebb and flow, and when it's a team concept and it comes together, when they have that closeness, it's, what is it? Rising tide lifts all boats. If everybody's on board, have a better chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Darius Smetanikoff, the other thing he said about her was not only is she a talented player, she's a wonderful person. He says she's never been a problem at all
Not
in
once.
her 4 years. He says he doesn't say anybody else is bad, and didn't say she was an angel, but he said that she has just been a consistent source of pride in recruiting her, bringing her in, and how she's performed. Called out by Esposito, and quality exchange, and that's also part of what's so impressive with Smetanikoff here. Eva Esposito, she doesn't hold back at all. There's no governor on her attack.
I would say out of the whole Auburn team, she probably has one of the biggest strikes on the ball, especially on that forehand side. It's the backhand side that was impressive in that rally, just stayed consistent, didn't try and overplay. And she's got to be willing to do that over and over and over again, because Smetanikoff's one of the most consistent off the ground.
Yeah, Esposito really challenges your patience.
She does.
It just brings it to you. If you're not in it and fully focused, you're going to get swept aside. Smetanikoff can't find a way to get the hold, and Esposito's back in the mix. 2-all on court 6. Court number 2. Opening set, Mia Kupras in a tiebreak for A&M. Arudinova now with a chance to extend her lead to 5-2. I think that is the hold. Been uncertain, but there we go. Kupras concedes, and Arudinova has 5-2. Well, the turnaround on court number 1 for Luciana Perez is starting here. For DJ Bennett, this is the moment she needs desperately to find a way to hold to stem the tide. After she took the opening set, Perez has been on the march.
First let court from Perez, just throwing Bennett off there.
Yeah, we talked about how Eva Esposito on court 6, tests your patience. You have to just be in. Your shot tolerance has to be high. Perez does the same thing. DJ Bennett, no slouch herself, former #1 ranked player in the nation, knows full well what Perez is capable of. Luciana just keeps chipping away at your confidence.
It's been a great turnaround for Bennett in this match, because yesterday she really struggled in her singles match. Just couldn't find her form, was making a lot of mistakes, but she knew that level had to be a lot higher here. So it's been good to see her just play a lot better, a lot more solid.
Yeah, without question. You want your final match as a senior, let alone contributing to this NCAA tournament. Yeah, that's long. And Bennett finds her way to the hold, and she's on the board in the final set. But it's Perez up a break, 2-1. Auburn Tigers making their 6th consecutive NCAA postseason appearance, 18th overall, but first time ever getting past the round of 16. But they've got their hands full. A&M up 3-1. Needs just one singles match to go their way to win their 2nd national title in the last 3 years. Remember, Auburn outscored their opponents, which included 15th ranked Duke, 10th ranked LSU, and 4th ranked OSU, that being Ohio State. Jill Krabus, just for verification. Outscored their opponents 20-4 coming into this contest. But now they've got themselves trailing, and there have been a number of comebacks. Remember, A&M was in this exact position last night,
right,
down 3-1. They were able to come back and post a victory. As Mia Kupras point away from getting a third game. And Kupris does indeed get the hold. Court 2 becoming even more intriguing, as it will be Harutinova serving for the set.
That was an important hold for Kupris, not only to stay in this second set, but I think just as a little confidence booster, because she was getting down on herself a little bit the last few games. So it was a good, confident hold for her.
Chance to try to level it. One set apiece now for the Auburn Tigers. And a little help from the equipment in the middle of the court to get things started in the 9th game.
Too good from Harutinova. It's unbelievable defense from Kupris, but Harutinova is just really hitting her spots much better in this second set. Harutinova trying to do a little trick shot there by changing the rhythm, but it was well handled from Kupris. Great acceleration.
Come on, DJ.
Kupris could have done a little bit more with that forehand, just kept Harutinova in the point.
That cheer you just heard moments ago prior to the conclusion of that point were A&M fans pleased that on court 1, Luciano Perez has just held for 3-1 in the third. And over on court number 6, also into the third set, Esposito from Auburn and Smetanikov from A&M all even at 3 apiece. And there it is, set point secured with the ace. Harutinova, so all 3 matches that remain have not found their way to the conclusion, all into a third set. The aforementioned court 1 contest. Top-ranked Perez at the top of your screen versus DJ Bennett of Auburn serving at the bottom of your screen, and things starting to go awry as Perez is starting to make her move.
Well, it's not only been a more aggressive Perez since that first set, but I think her movement's gotten even better as well. She's just hustling a little bit more. That adrenaline is kicking in, and it's just making it harder for Bennett to find an opening. There was a late night last night that Perez was able to clinch it for A&M against Georgia and Lapata. Both players were cramping at the time. It was so humid. Both were suffering just trying to get through that match, but both players, I think, showed a lot of fight and heart in that battle.
That's long for Bennett as well. Yeah, there were two incidents of cramping for Perez. In the second set, she had a couple of match points, but started to lock up. Lopata was able to take advantage to extend it to a third. Then they both cramped in the third
Both
set.
on the legs. They were both cramping in their legs.
Ultimately, in the end, Perez just showed her mettle and why she is such a tough out. In fact, is unbeaten on the year. And now she's built herself a nice little chance here to get to 4-1 on a couple of errors from DJ Bennett. Good stick-to-itiveness from Bennett because Perez just would not let that ball pass through the court. Refused.
Well, the first defensive lob that Perez hit there, I mean, it's just incredible how she can reset the point consistently by just lofting it with good depth. So huge credit there for Bennett to be able to finish that off.
Bennett's so pleased to be a part of this Auburn team, talking about the most successful Tigers squad in school history. 37 wins, the previous best at the school 25, which was tied last year in his debut as head coach by Jordan Szabo. This year they've blown that wide open. Had been 0-5 in the round of 16 in the NCAA tournament until this year, finally being able to reach a quarterfinal and a Final Four, and now in the championship. Bennett wants to go out on the highest of highs, but right now she's back up against the wall, literally. Been a remarkable turnaround, 62 wins against 10 losses in 2 seasons for Jordan Szabo. Of course, he attended Texas A&M, graduated there, met his wife who played soccer at A&M, spent Christmas this year in College Station. He's still got a lot of ties back there.
He does. He still goes back there all the time. He said it's just kind of a weird situation, but obviously has still a little affinity for A&M as he's been such a part of that whole program.
Yeah, from the age of, basically, he said for his entire adult life until 2 years ago when he finally left to go to Auburn, he had spent in College Station. But now he's got himself in a position that he hasn't been in through this NCAA tournament, and that's playing from behind. Third set just getting underway next door on court number 2, as well as the third set that's already 7 games in on court 6. Smetanikoff of A&M has broken for 4-3. 2 games away from giving Texas A&M the title. Bennett trying to hang on, putting up some resistance here, mightily so, from love 30 down, trying to pick up the hold. That'll be a deciding point for this 5th game. Perez benefiting from another unforced error, and we'll see if DJ Bennett can escape.
That's another leg court that Bennett just couldn't adjust to and adapt to the changeup of the rhythm.
Texas A&M needs just one of the courts, 1 or 6 to come through. Perez trying to secure a double break lead on the deciding point. Good coverage, and Bennett able to fend off Perez advances, and she has the hold. So up a break for A&M on court number 1 as they are on court number 6. Daria Smetanikoff trying to put further distance between herself and Ava Esposito of Auburn.
Esposito is up 2-love in, or sorry, Smetanikoff was up 2-love in this third set, and then Esposito went up 3-2 right away. So it's been a very up and down third set between these two. That's the shot that Esposito can struggle with, is that flat lower to the backhand. She just doesn't feel comfortable accelerating on that side, so she ends up just trying to guide it and loft it, and that's where unforced errors have come in for Auburn.
Esposito backing up. She almost, well, now she'll take a couple steps forward as she receives this serve from Smetanikoff. Trying to put herself a game away. Looking to be the hero late, the senior in her final match at A&M. That'll be a deciding point for the 8th game, and why not? Boy, it's been topsy-turvy through these opening 7 games.
She leaned into that backhand much better, and Szabo has just been by her side this entire third set. But you can tell that she's enjoying that feedback, that information that the coach is giving her.
And Esposito breaks back. And positive affirmation coming from both coaching staffs, just trying to maintain their presence. Again, the atmosphere not nearly as electric as it was last night, so the players really trying to have to find another level from within, but they've got to stay in the moment. Got to find their way to maintain their focus. You can see from the body language of Daria Smetanikoff, disappointed, frustrated that she's not a game away, but Esposito, she's rejuvenated.
Well, the energy has definitely lifted from Esposito, but I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, Jordan has been on the sideline just helping her. And it's just going to miss. But that positivity that we've been talking about, that the women on the team have said that Jordan Szabo brings, I feel like it has lifted Esposito up.
And there he is again, just getting over there.
Almost every point, really.
Yeah, really, just imploring Esposito to just keep plugging away. Obviously, court 6 important at the moment. Court 3 is still just in the early, court number 2 just in the early stages of the third set. Just in the 6th game over on court 1, so things could shape up to this court 6 being so decisive. The importance of being in Esposito's ear for Szabo, just to try to get her across the line. So far it's been working. Szabo and Weaver, one thing they do have, despite the disparity in their personalities and how they go about coaching, is they both believe that the positivity that they have to impart on their players, even when they're not always feeling it themselves,
yeah, exactly.
It's important to get that message across.
I think also the way Esposito plays the game she plays, the very aggressive style, you have to have that confidence behind you. If you doubt yourself at all, that's where you can start missing and making mistakes.
Luciano Perez has held for 4-2 over on court number 1. We'll keep an eye on that as This court 6 contest seems to be nearing its conclusion. Probably will finish ahead of that. It could decide things for Texas A&M or add further intrigue to this national championship final. Smetanikoff looking to make it 3 consecutive breaks.
It was a great return just to get the ball back in play because it was a good serve from Esposito.
Esposito able to get herself to a deciding point. And so game 9 hangs in the balance. No ad scoring. Huge moment for both schools on court 6.
Work hard with your feet. Come on.
And Smetanikoff breaks. And she will serve for the match on court 6 when they're ready next. And Texas A&M in the driver's seat. Over on court number 1, mentioned Luciano Perez had held for 4-2. She's got herself a nice half chance here. Opportunity to try to break Bennett and serve for the match herself. Now, interesting over the last couple of years for Mark Weaver and Texas A&M. They're averaging 29.6 wins per year. 33 back in 2022. Their title season, they won 28. Right now, they're at 27-4.
Oh, there you go.
Bennett coming in, and Jill.
I know you love your numbers.
They're going for their 28th win of the year, which would give them the national title. And right now on court number 1, Luciano Perez, 28-0.
Wow. I figured you were going there somehow. That's unbelievable. Huge point here on Bennett's serve. She's been struggling to hold serve easily. Every single game has been a challenge.
Smetanikoff just about to get underway on court 6 as she serves for the match. Bennett fighting for her life here in this final match as a senior in Auburn.
Just going to miss wide from Perez.
Smetanikoff's opening point goes to Auburn's Esposito as she serves for it. Nothing a foregone conclusion over on court number 6. There's been 3 consecutive breaks, 5 in the final set already, and Esposito's looking to continue that trend.
No, I think it just put so much pressure on with the way Esposito plays. She's so aggressive on the return. And I think Smetanikoff feeling that on her shoulders on her service games.
Bennett's backhand into the net on court number 1 gives Perez a chance at a deciding point.
Excellent pass from Smetanikoff, completely caught Esposito by surprise. closed the net hard, but just pulled her racket back to let it go and just landed inside the line.
Yeah, there's a big moth in front of Luciana Perez. She's just trying to do some housekeeping there and clear it off in front. She wants to be ethically responsible, doesn't want to do any harm. That's like Mothra. I mean, that thing's giant. Perez could have been carried away.
I know.
But for her safety and the safety of the moth itself, and a long time to think for DJ Bennett here on such an important point. Deciding point of the 7th game on court number 1. Oh, that was bold. DJ Bennett comes up with the goods, gets the hold. And instead of serving for the match, Perez will still remain up a break. Over to court 6 we go as Esposito still putting the moves on Smetanikov. And hoping to continue the break fest. It has been in recent times on court 6.
That's an excellent angle. Just cut it fine, but it was good enough and got the mistake.
Well, the ultimate irony in some respects is not far from here. Just a couple of blocks away is College Station Road. College Station, of course, where Texas A&M makes its home, hoping to take the title back to Texas. Mark Weaver and company hoping that Darius Smetanikov, the senior from Marlboro, New Jersey, can be the hero of the moment. Championship point for Texas A&M. It'll be a title homecoming for the 2nd time in 3 years for Texas A&M. The Aggies have done it in Athens. And it's senior Darius Smetanikov who gets the job done, racing all the way from court number 1, Luciana Perez, who remains unbeaten on the year. But the champions once again, Texas A&M. Well, a phenomenal performance over the last 3 nights. The late night heroics of Violeta Martinez after midnight in the quarterfinals. Their massive triumph by their top player yesterday in the semifinals, Luciana Perez. And the other senior to get it done, Darius Smetanikov, able to finish it off. And the hearts of Auburn Tigers broken in their historic season. An absolutely fantastic run for Auburn. But it's Texas A&M who reigns supreme in 2026.
It was an unbelievable effort, I think, from both teams to make this far. You got to give credit to Auburn, too, to make their first final of an NCAA tournament. But the Aggies had fought so hard. They had one of the toughest draws here at the NCAA tournament, and they had to gut out so many tough matches, and a well-deserved finish for Texas A&M.
Well, they knocked off the defending champions in the process. They got revenge for their 78-match home winning streak that the Georgia Bulldogs ended back in March. That part, you can check that off, revenge, and then they get the better of Auburn in the end. Disappointment in particular for the 3 seniors from Auburn. DJ Bennett, Angela Okatoy, as well as Ekaterina Arudianova. And for Jordan Szabo, his fantastic 37-win season comes to an end. Runners-up in 2026. The program he has built will undoubtedly be back again next year, vying once again for the title. But his former mentor at Texas A&M, Mark Weaver, he said, I put them out there, I gave them all the knowledge that they needed, and they went out there and they found the way to victory. He'll be very proud of that effort today.
He should be proud of the season that he's had. I mean, it's just been an incredible rise. Only his second year at Auburn. It's been an absolutely fantastic year. #1 team in the country right now, but it was just too much for them to handle. Texas A&M just fought with such heart and spirit, and it was an unbelievable effort.
Simplicity is what Mark Weaver preaches. He talks about the idea of just bringing in quality talent, talked about how much he appreciated the cohesiveness and the close-knit community that the girls built around themselves in A&M. And in the end, it was a team effort. They did it every which way in this tournament. They had heroic comebacks. They had their stars step up at the right moments.
Right.
Today, they didn't have to come back. They just built a solid forward progress and were able to get across the line.
Well, and I think you just can't say enough about how much that is probably the most important factor, is being able to have that cohesiveness not only on the court but off the court as well. And I think that was a massive impact with the way that they were able to support each other out there in tough times. So I think that was really what helped them get across the line in the end. And you can feel that. You can feel the support from each other when you're out there, and it was just a great effort.
Well, Texas A&M now becomes just the 7th school in NCAA history to amass multiple titles as they join Stanford, Florida, Texas, Georgia, Southern Cal, and UCLA. Texas A&M for the 2nd time in 3 years, champions. They'll take home the trophy to College Station. Congratulations to Mark Weaver and the squad as they triumph in Athens. 2026 national champions of women's tennis. So long from Georgia.